As you may be aware, Star Wars Celebration 2023 just concluded, and this time it was held in London. Since this year is the 40th anniversary of the release of Return of the Jedi, there were quite a few Jabba-related products that were announced, as well as convention merch. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about all of the items that I spotted as someone who didn't actually attend the show. I'm sure I missed some things, though, so if you know of anything else, please let me know in the comments below. Wherever possible, I will include links to the items that I'm talking about in the video description, but many of them are not yet available to purchase, or they're show exclusives that you have to get on the secondary market, so keep that in mind. I think we'll start with a couple of items that were actually announced just before Celebration, but they certainly qualify for this video if you ask me. I've been wanting Loungefly to release one of their character-themed mini backpacks for Jabba, in the same way that they did for Leia and Lando in the past. So far, this hasn't happened, but what they did do is release a mini backpack that's themed on Jabba's palace in general. This features some awesome artwork of Jabba and his cronies from the palace on the back, with the Rancor here underneath. And if you look on the sides, it has Gamorrean guards on either side, I believe. And then on the back, it's got the Max Rebo band, which I heartily endorse, although it's a little bit too bad that you can't see them while you're actually wearing it. It has a Han and Carbonite zipper pull, and to top it all off, it's got this awesome vintage-inspired lining for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, with Jabba and the sail barge, as well as the droids there in front of the palace. The wallet is essentially the same thing in wallet form, so you've got the same artwork there on the front, and then on the back you've got the Gamorrean guards, and inside you've got the same lining as well. I realize that these are really more aimed at women than probably my demographic, but that won't stop me from getting them. Alright, let's jump on into the Celebration Europe 2023 exclusives that I found. Now, as I mentioned, I was not able to attend the show myself, so I'm basically relying on things I've seen online to figure out what was available at the show. And this video here you're seeing is from Star Wars Sith, who's on YouTube as well. I'll put a link to his channel in the video description. He kindly allowed me to use some of this to kind of illustrate the Star Wars Celebration store. And at that store, they had a bunch of exclusive items created just for Celebration Europe, and I'd like to introduce a few of those to you today. These are basically only available to people who actually attended the convention, although in some cases in the past, these have been available online, so that might still be the case this time as well. I haven't really heard one way or the other. At the moment, unfortunately, we're stuck paying high markups on eBay to get any of this stuff, however. I am, of course, a huge fan of the Max Rebo band, so I'm definitely very excited about the next item. They actually made the full original Rebo band in plush form. Now, there have been a couple of plush Max Rebos in the past. In fact, the one you see on your right here is actually the Talking Max Rebo plush, which is a past exclusive, and you can see that the one in this set is actually a bit bigger. And right now I have to thank Twi'lek Quinn from Instagram, who kindly gave me these photos of the set and her holding them, because I don't have one at hand at the moment, but I do plan to get these. I'll put a link to her Instagram account in the video description. So I'm really excited about this. They do look like they're a nice size, although they do look just the teensiest bit cheap compared to the quality of plush that you can get direct from Disney, for example. There was a huge number of enamel pins made just for Celebration Europe, and of course there are some Jabba-related characters in there as well. These have been selling for extremely high prices on eBay so far, so I'm honestly not sure that I'll be getting any. But ideally, I would get Jabba with Bib Fortuna, the Rebo band, and Rancor and Keeper sets. But I've seen these go for right about $100 a piece, which is kind of insane for just a set of 3 pins, so we'll have to see. They also made a Rancor bottle opener, which, believe it or not, is the second Rancor bottle opener that has been sold as a Celebration exclusive. Back in 2015, they had a completely different design available at Celebration Anaheim, and I do have one of those. Still, this looks pretty cool. One other type of collectible from the show that might be a little bit less well known than the other ones are these medallions that were given away at the collecting panels. They made 20 different designs based on vintage figures, and of course many of them feature Jabba's Palace characters. I think these coins are probably inspired by the Power of the Force coins that were included with vintage Kenner action figures, but they're quite a bit larger apparently. And honestly, these kinds of collectibles are some of my favorites because they're made by fans, for the fans, given away, although for me to get them, it's going to be quite a bit more expensive than that. And they also kind of remind me of the coin that I designed and 3D printed a while back, if you remember that video. Anyway, I really like this kind of collectible. I have a set of the coins that were given away at Celebration Chicago in 2019, and I've already secured a full set of these for myself, so you can stay tuned for a look at those in a future video as well. There were some other items I spotted, such as t-shirts and this 40th anniversary jacket that has a sort of embroidered Jabba on the front, but I think that just about does it in terms of the Jabba-related show exclusives from Celebration. Moving on to products that were announced at the show, some of the most interesting announcements came from Gentle Giant. First of all, they showed off some prototypes for a Jumbo Max Rebo band figure set, which I am very excited about. The final versions will of course be painted, and Max Rebo will be coming with his organ, according to them. They apparently haven't decided how they will be packaging these, so I don't know if they're going to be in a giant box or individually carded somehow. I do expect they will be quite expensive, especially given that Max will be getting his organ, and that's going to be quite large and difficult to engineer, I would imagine. I'm guessing $500 or more. I should point out here that Gentle Giant infamously showed off a jumbo Jabba figure at SDCC in 2015, and that figure never actually made it into production. In fact, I ended up 3D printing my own version to fill that hole in my collection. I had even gone so far as to start on the Rebo band myself, 3D printing a jumbo size Snoodles figure, which I showed in a previous video, but I don't think I will continue with that to make the other members of the band, assuming that Gentle Giant actually does come through and make these for us. Also from Gentle Giant was this Legends in 3D Gamorrean Guard bust, which looks great. Plus, they also have jumbo versions of Lando and 8D8, Jabba's torture droid, in the works, so that's pretty cool. It does seem a little strange that they're going to have so many Jabba-related vintage jumbos without actually having Jabba, though. Hot Toys announced a 1/6 scale die-cast C-3PO figure that includes a Salacious Crumb accessory. I was sort of hoping we might get a Jabba from Hot Toys, since they certainly have the ability to make the ultimate Jabba figure, and they've not really shied away from making very large and ambitious figures in the past. But I suppose there's still May 4th left for a possible Star Wars announcement. I probably won't be getting this one since I have the sideshow version of C-3PO, but this does look really nice. Finally, we have Hasbro. They announced a Vintage Collection Court Denizens 4-pack that includes new Re-Yees and Tessic figures, as well as 2 brand new human skiff guards, which I was very happy to see since we haven't really had anything like that in the past. I was less happy to see the price of $72.99, which seems extremely high for a 4-pack if I'm honest, but I guess that's just the way things are now. Hasbro also announced a new Jabba set, although there are a few caveats with it. First of all, it's for the 6-inch Black Series and not the 3 3/4-inch line. A while back, Hasbro announced the Vintage Collection Boba Fett's Throne Room set, which has all of Jabba's palace and really just needs a Jabba to be able to use it as Jabba's throne room. And so I expected them to announce a new 3 3/4-inch Jabba figure, or at least a re-release of one, but so far they haven't done that. And the other thing I should point out about the set they did announce is that it seems to be exactly the same set that they released as an SDCC exclusive back in 2014. Both sets came with a 6-inch scale Jabba, hookah and throne railing, and Salacious Crumb figure, although the SDCC version had some pretty elaborate cardboard packaging, while this new one is just a box with no way to even see the contents. I do appreciate that it's a nod to the vintage Jabba playset, and people who might have missed out on the original SDCC set will no doubt be happy, but I was hoping for at least something new. Oh, and by the way, this set costs $89.99, which does seem quite high to me. Both this and the Court Denizens set are currently available for pre-order on the Hasbro Plus website. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention one other announcement that came out of Celebration London. They're going to be re-releasing Return of the Jedi to theaters from April 28th to Star Wars Day on May the 4th. It's been 40 years since I saw Jabba on the big screen, so this is tempting in some sense, but I'm pretty sure that it will be the one with the alternate Rebo band sequence, the special edition, and I definitely have some conflicting feelings about that. I actually haven't been to a theater since the pandemic, so I haven't decided if I'm going to be going to this myself, but I might, and in any case, it's very cool that they're going to be doing this. So, which of these products or announcements were your favorite? I'm probably most excited about the new Jumbo figures from Gentle Giant, especially the Rebo Band. I'll be making another video when I actually get some of the show exclusives in hand, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. And thanks also to my patrons on Patreon, especially these Palace VIPs right here, Angelica Brady and Jesper Murtu. They really do help offset some of the costs involved in running this channel, and also give me a little bit of moral support, I guess you'd say. I really appreciate your support, and if you'd like to help support the channel yourself for as little as $1 a month, you can do that by going to the link in the video description.